My government likes to classify me as a hyphen. My dad was Mexican. He came here legally. He didn't marry my mom to become an American citizen. Actually, he was a Mexican national for 20 years. And each year, we had to go to Mexico across the border so he could get his visa stamped. Because as long as you do that, you continue to be legally in the United States. What my dad did for 20 years was what anybody who wants to be here, whether as a visitor or as a working person or somebody who's going to become nationalized, would do. All I expect the illegals not to be line jumpers and not to be rewarded for the line jumping, but to do everything that my own father did and nothing less. But for this, I've been called a minute planner, I've been called a racist, I've been called a hater, I've been called a supremacist. And anytime I've looked at these people, most of the time I'm like, one, do you speak Spanish? Do you have family down there? No. So stop trying to pander to them, that you're trying to represent them as you're trying to help them, when all you're trying to do is you're trying to use them to further your advances, your viewpoints, all those that are un-American. So while you're calling me a racist, I'm calling you what you are. You're a communist and you're anti-American, okay? Because everything that you stand for is not what we are. What you stand for is what the globalists want this country to become. They want you to become part of the North American Union, all right? Last time I checked, I wasn't asked if I wanted to become part of the North American Union with Mexico and Canada. Now, I love the Mexican side of my family. I love the American side of my family. What I don't want, and what is happening in America today, is that the Americans are starting to hate the Mexicans, and that shouldn't be. I don't want the Mexicanization of my Southwest just as much as I don't want the Americanization of Mexico with all the Wally Worlds and all the Kmarts and Mickey D's and all those other things down there. Each culture is beautiful, from the music to the food to the people. Do not allow the globalists to use us against each other so that we kill each other, okay, that we have a civil war with each other, instead of cutting the head of the snake off and having a revolution from the traitors, the treason that they commit in our name. Okay? Now, I've been on both sides of the border. I've been all over the world, and I've seen how the other half live. From the time I was 5 years old, I understood the concept of what it is to be an American. Okay, quick story. We were traveling to communist bloc nations in '71, which at that time was part of the Warsaw Pact. We were taken in by a Romanian family, pretty much peasants, and they fed us for the night. They basically became friends. And after eating the meal, I asked my mom, very innocent question. I said, Mom, when can we have these beautiful people back to our place and do the same thing for them? So here I am at 5 years old asking this out of the mouth of a babe, and my mom goes, they can't, Paul, because their governments won't let them. Okay, so being from a communist nation like Romania at that time in '71, they couldn't come as freely as I was coming to their country to visit them. So at that time, I understood that being an American was a little more special, okay? It made me appreciate what I was given, that I was God blessed to have been born in this country, okay? So I cherish what that is to be an American, all right? So I'll take all the names that they want to call me upon my shoulders, and I'll look them squarely back in the eyes and like, look, being an American, period, but as you look at me, the Mexican hyphen American, I'll tell you to go to hell and go back where you came from, okay? Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening to the music. And please stop by, tell us hello, whatever. We're at pokerface.com. But give it up to these gentlemen behind me from voiceofthepeopleUSA.com. They did an excellent job today. And Mayor Barletta for having us here. Thank you.
Thank all of you for coming.